Well, hi, Mr. Joe.
Hi, Mr. Randy. I'm wild about science today.
I am too. We have a challenge for you kids today. We were talking about plant structures, the roots, the stems, and the leaves. And we said roots take in minerals and water, and it transfers those minerals and water go up the stems to get to the leaves. So the leaves are the factories. We wanted to challenge you to prove that that was true. I mean, just because we say it's true doesn't mean that it's actually true. Maybe you could prove it. We're going to give you an idea about how you could do that, okay? What are we going to do, Mr. Joe?
Well, Mr. Randy, we thought about this long and hard, and what we think we're going to do is we're going to take water, we're going to put some coloring in it.
We're going to pretend this is underground water.
This is underground water.
Okay, good.
And this is minerals.
Okay, so here's the minerals, and I want to choose like blue minerals.
Awesome.
I'm going to choose blue minerals today.
Then we're going to use something a little different. This is celery, and you can see it has a leaf.
Wait a second. Let's do this.
Okay.
So this is not a carrot, obviously, it's celery, but down here they've cut the people
roots.
in the grocery store have cut off the roots. Celery has roots, and it has leaves too. Here's one that's left, just a little guy. But so all that's left with the celery is the stem. Okay, so now we're back.
Okay, so we have the stem, and if we break off a piece of the stem, you'll almost see what looks like some roots, and we're going to see if in fact we can get our minerals, our water, to come up the stem, and it would come up and feed the leaves. But we're going to do it so we can check to see if in fact it is possible for the water to come up through the stem.
Okay, I'm going to make mineral water. I'm going to make colored water, and this blue is going to be my minerals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that too much?
That looks good.
That's a lot of minerals. Okay.
I think it needs a little shaking though.
Okay, so here we go. Shake, 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 shake.
That's good.
Here we go. Shake, shake, shake. All right, now, that's a lot of minerals in that water. Okay, thank you, Mr. Joe. I enjoyed doing that.
I enjoyed watching
And kids, I challenge you to do the same thing.
Now we need to have a vessel or a container so we can put the water and minerals in the container and watch it come up.
All right?
So
great.
we're going to try to do it with the scissors, but this, you got to be extra careful.
Yeah, this is a safety tip here. You probably need to have an adult do this. In fact, maybe Mr. Joe should
have an adult.
Okay, so now Mr. Joe has got the scissors. Oh, thank you, Mr. Joe. I'll use that for another project later on. So now we have this.
Blessing is a curse.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put some of our water in this bottle. How about that?
That's plenty, maybe.
Maybe a lot. Okay, so we're just going to cut this off. I'm just going to cut the top off so it'll be fresh. I think you should do this too. And then maybe I should cut the bottom off.
I was thinking about cutting the bottom off.
Why don't we put 2 in? One with the bottom, just sort of almost like an experiment. I'm going to put 2 in. One that's got top and bottom cut off. One that has, this one just has the top cut off. And one that doesn't have either top or bottom cut off. How about that? So now I have 3 different ways. I've done it 3 different ways. And I want to see if what we're hoping for is that the minerals will be drawn up inside the stem, and we'll be able to see it. We'll be able to see the blue food coloring come up the stem. Well, how cool is that? So give us a few minutes and we'll get back to you and see if this works. But this is the same thing I want you to do at home. This is your challenge.
That is very nice, Mr. Randy. That is really cool.
So just you keep an eye on that. We'll be right back. Good morning, Mr. Joe. I am wild about science again today.
Good morning, Mr. Randy. I'm Wildmouth Science as well.
And kids, we're going to follow up on our challenge from yesterday where we took the celery. Remember we were talking about leaves, roots, and stems?
Plant structures, right?
Right, and we were wondering, is it true that the stems actually bring water up to the leaves? And so what we did as a kind of an investigation, one might almost call it an experiment, because what we did was we cut 3 stalks of celery. We got food coloring to act as our nutrients. So we wanted to prove that nutrients go from the roots through the stem all the way to the leaves. So Mr. Joe, how'd we do? It's been a day.
We did excellent, and we learned something, Mr. Randy.
What we learned?
We learned that if you look at the very top, you can see blue on the one that you cut top and bottom.
So I'm going to cut away. I'm going to bring the celery close to the camera so that you can see it better. And so the bottom of the celery,
The others you
how's
can
the bottom
see
of those
as well.
other
It's
celery
just
look?
not as dramatic or pronounced.
They look
You can
very
see blue there and
Okay,
blue
so they're
there.
all blue. There's no difference in the bottoms necessarily, but in the top, you can see that the celery, and we didn't wash it or anything, you can see that the celery has made it all the way to the top. And if you look closely, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dots. They're blue dots, and that indicates where the tubes are in the stem. Stems have tubes in them, like straws really, but they're little tiny things. And the nutrients go up those tubes, and in celery, the tubes are all located around the edge here, as you can see. Pretty cool, Mr. Joe.
Absolutely. You can almost feel the bumps where the tubes are.
So this is what I want you to check on your plant. Your celery, if you used red, you might want to use red. Don't use green. But if you use red or even blue, or maybe, I don't know about yellow, but you should see the same thing. Have a great investigation.